What type of blessing would you speak over your dad?
What is a lesson that I learned from my father?
What is a good memory of your dad?
What is a funny situation you and Dad were in?
I was a little kid, but I remember my dad setting me on his lap and telling me, when you get married, you're supposed to love that person unconditionally like God loves you.
And we would play this game called Spank the Children. and he would turn off all the lights in the house and like snap the belt, and we couldn't hear where it was coming from. And he would do this like evil, crazy laugh, and we would just be running from him and trying to hide.
Working on cars and him teach me mechanically how to be inclined so that way I could work on things later in my life.
We're going to the movies, and then he says, there's a brain sucker on my head, and had like no idea what that meant.
I grew up with my stepdad, and he's just the greatest dad that I could ever have as a replacement to my dad that wasn't able to be there. And now that I have my real dad, it's a double blessing to have him.
We went on this ride, and then we almost flipped over, and my dad's face was hilarious.
And he said, the brain sucker's starving. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the brain sucker is starving because they have no brain to eat.
My dad taught me a lot about respect, responsibility, and knowing how to work and be, you know, an awesome person. So thank you, Dad. Joel School.
You know, I always call him a dad, but his name is Uncle Jesse at the time. Because again, there's a lot of times that even down or we have bad questions or we're just having fun. He was always there, so.
I learned to be good and don't do bad things.
And this I never knew about my dad, which totally blew me away because he was a children's church minister.
And then I'm like, oh, so what does that mean? He's like, you don't have a brain. And I'm like, wow.
One thing that I find really, that I really appreciate about my dad is how much I can always tell that he cares for me.
But to find out that he was a minister and that he worked with children at the same age that I was at the time of this conversation just blew me away. It was such a godsend.
And I thank God that he gave up the drinking and alcohol to be in my life.
That you don't have to be a graduate of high school or college to become a successful businessman.
I just want to say thank you to my spiritual father. I've known him since 1992, and that is Pastor Jose. He's really been such an inspiration in my life. I look at him like a Daddy Warbucks.
And so my brother was asking my dad, do you want to watch this show? But the name of the show was Run for Your Life with Ben Gazzara.
So when we first went out to go talk to him, we first asked him to ride his go-kart.
I left you then in a happy spot, and happy Father's Day.
And so he says to my dad, do you want to watch this show or Run for Your Life? And my father, very serious German, strict father, just looked at him. And my brother just started sweating.
So my dad doesn't tell us what ice cream he gets us. He brings ice cream back up to the car, and it's pistachio ice cream. It's green.
My father at one time had 3 jobs to take care of his family of 5 children, and he was in the Air Force, and I've always had a lot of respect for him.
Dad, that your seed shall serve God.
Yeah. Yeah.